Biofalls stands for biofiltration. You want the biological filtration so that your water stays clean and clear and helps stop that algae growth. So when I referred to this as a sediment trap, one of the things I want you to look at is I pulled all the rocks out. You can see we got the liner here, I got the piping sticking up there, but if I take my shovel, you can see all this sludge that's just built up in here. So this sludge means that this water will always be gunky. It'll always have nutrients for algae and things like that to grow, so you will never have good water quality. So what we're going to do, like I said, is we're going to remove this, which I think are cinder blocks, concrete blocks for the waterfall. We're going to remove that. We're going to put our biofalls in here. We're going to backfill all that, make that all nice and pretty, and then redo this stream going back down. Nick's doing a quick little clean out on the pond, and we'll get everything wrapped up here. So one of the things we always take into consideration when we're building a biofalls, placing a biofalls, is the viewing angle. So home has this nice gazebo, screened in room and everything that looks really cool. It's got a great view of the backyard. So you can see that it looks where the waterfall was. And one of the things is that an existing waterfall came straight at us. Okay, that's something that we usually do our best to try to avoid. So you can see right now where Nick is placing that biofalls, you can't see it. So I believe the intention is that we are going to have that biofalls drop over. It's going to spit out going that direction, land on a little shallow shelf, and then come back towards us. You're not going to see the origination of the waterfall or where it starts because the biofalls is going to be hidden, which is kind of what we want. We want to create that little bit of mystery with the water coming out and where the fall starts, so that people kind of get intrigued and want to come over and take a look and see where things are at. Monkey Dick and the dog trying to take all day on setting this biofalls to height.
Today, Junior?
I know he's trying to get it level, but apparently he's got one leg shorter than the other because I haven't seen him get it level to save his life yet. Damien Drager 4D Exteriorscapes. We are just finishing up this Biofalls installation and stream renovation down here. Wisconsin, I think, is where we are. So you can see the water still a little milky, still filling it up, but just want to get things running. That's good. The milkiness is coming from the gravel. We washed off as best we could, but it's really hard to get it clean and clear right away. So you can see what we did here is we took the original waterfall, which you've seen some progress pictures where it's just a single falls dropping. There was a cinder block holding it up to make the vertical portion of it, and we decided to change it up just a little bit, and rather than have that big 2-foot drop, we turned it into 2 smaller ones. I think we're at about a 10 and an 8, somewhere in that range. And rather than a what we call a sheet fall, which you can actually see the stone across the top of the Biofalls, was the old waterfall stone. So the water would just come off there in a clear sheet. You wouldn't really get a lot of sound out of it because the water enters so clean and clear. And we broke it up into 2 separate heights here of waterfalls. So you can see our lower one here. We got a little bit of more flow obviously coming off on the right side there than the left. I personally, I think maybe we should talk about a larger pump when this one passes away, but you can see we get a really good sound out of it. And then behind that, this falls up here, we got more of a raindrop kind of effect happening on the left side, water coming down over on the right. And the other thing, as we talked about before, is we always want to think about the viewing angle. And I think the majority of the viewing that's going to go on from this one is going to be from inside this enclosure here. And if we're sitting here, we'll zoom in, we'll see how good this works. We can see both falls, but you really don't see the biofalls and stuff. You see a little bit of that stone, but we kind of had to beat up on that allium a little bit. But once that grows back the way it was originally and fills in a little bit more, you will not see that biofall. So basically, what you're going to see is, sorry, fat finger in the way on purpose. So you're going to see both those falls. We're getting a really good sound, especially considering the flow that's there and the distance that we are, probably 30-40 feet away. You can hear all the birds in the distance, but it creates that thought of, okay, where is this originating from? Almost like it's coming out of the hills. So, all right, so we reshaped this. We didn't really shave the stream too much, gave it a little bit of character. We got the beach pebbles down in there, some little feature stones in the middle, kind of direct the water so it moves back and forth a little bit. We did reuse some of the plantings just to give it some greenery, and again, once those peak up a little bit, it'll change the look. Hey everybody, Damien Drager, 4D Exteriorscapes. We are here in New Berlin, Wisconsin, where we are doing a follow-up video on a feature that we didn't build. We didn't rebuild it, we just did a renovation on it. So you see earlier in the video, there previously at the headwaters was I refer to it as a sediment trap, okay? So the water came just still there, we did not touch that. Went up through the piping and it ended up top in kind of a hole that, the reason I call it a sediment trap is because that's any debris that got through the pump ended up going in there and just kind of settled in there, and then the water came over the top. So the larger particles settled out. So what we did is we came in, we redid the entire length of the stream, changed the waterfalls up completely, and installed the biofalls. So the bio in biofalls stands for biological filtration. What that means is that any of those little light debris and things that gets up there, gets caught in some filter pads up there. The biological part is there's beneficial bacteria that lives on those filter pads, lives on the filter media, and helps to keep the water cleaner. Okay, so you saw the before video. Again, pond's exactly the same. We redid the stream, reshaped it a little bit, kept it moving, and then installed this waterfall. This lower one here is a little bit split, and our walkthrough video right now, it's fall as opposed to the middle of summer, so we've got the plants tied back and cut back, and then you got a little bit of the leaf debris and stuff like that in the area, so not a big deal. But you can see here the upper falls. Step on there. We've got a nice split with 2 rocks up there. The water comes across and falls down right there. Gives a nice decent sound. Step back over here, and this lower falls. We always like to use natural rocks as opposed to slate, just because it looks a lot more natural. And you can see on the lower falls we got a nice heavy flow coming over on this side, a little bit sneaking around on that side into the stream, and then falling down into the pond where got a little bit of string algae, which isn't horrible. The biological filtration is still establishing itself, but the water itself is crystal clear. So we don't just specialize in large installs, we also do renovations, you know, whether it's adding a biofalls, adding a skimmer, swapping out those existing components, but it makes a big difference as far as the cleanliness of your pond and the health of it. So thanks for following along. Do me a favor, like, comment, share, subscribe, and like, comment, follow, subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.